This is Damon Stevens with Finn Wealth Builders. Today is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021, and this is a stock market update for our trades for the day. Cryptos and stocks were flat, but we still had opportunities. It just was not as interesting as it's been earlier in the week, but we'll get into it and talk about it here. If you look at the Dow Jones here, you can see here that it's basically flat. We had a pull back here in the morning time, and then it just kind of just grinded right back up, kind of almost to where it started out. You can see that the NASDAQ was up 0.73%, and S&P 500 up 0.3%. So you can see all of them kind of pulled back and just kind of grinded back to their same level. So not a lot of momentum or moves today overall. You can see here's a mix on the FANG stocks. Apple was the only one slightly down, but definitely looking for a positive move on Apple, hopefully here. But you see that Amazon did pretty good. Microsoft was up 1% as well. Tesla, was barely up. You look at the heat map though on the world, you can see a lot more green here as we're coming into the end of the day here. It's looking a lot better here. You can see China, Bobo's up 2.7%, so nice rally there. Really some good movement on China again. I like to see this green. It's going to be interesting to see how our Thursday ends up. Looking at it right now, it's looking pretty positive. So looking to see if we get a positive day tomorrow. The SPY just kind of, it's kind of been pretty well flat. So I'm not quite sure if we're going to break out. If we can get above 435, maybe we can. We'll get back more into that when we get in the charts. Looking at the stocks on the move, JSPR was the hot stock of the day, and WTRH was the secondary one. And JSPR, let's take a look. Just notice that I didn't pull that chart up. So here's JSPR. You can see here, it was an interesting, usually you have like this huge gap up, but JSPR actually gave you a few entries in. The low was $6, the high was 18. I didn't catch it the first thing in the morning when it came up here. Bounced off here, came back down to the 10. This was my entry, and just as it was coming back up here off the 10, and then it topped out at 18.24 here, and you see it pull back, and now we're just kind of down here at this nice little support level here. So will it hold up, and will we get another run at it? I'll put a line here. If we drop here, the 50's still down here, and we're kind of like right in between it. So if we can get support between bouncing here or off the 50, we should be able to get another run at this JSPR. So looking for this. This is on the short list tomorrow morning for the moves. GWH, you can see here, this was from the other day, and you can see here that it was pretty well, flat for the day. Don't know if we're gonna get much momentum off of here. Going to keep it on another day and see if we can get anything, but didn't trade that one today. PSA was a nice grind up. You can see here that 310 to low and 317 was the high. So this was definitely a good one. I tried to see if I was going to catch some of this after hours to see if this is going to possibly pull back. You got a little flat doji here. I'm not sure if we're going to continue grinding higher or not. Watching this one in the morning to see. If you really want the high today was really 317.97. But just watching this here, after I saw that weakness here, I thought, well, maybe we're done here. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a retracement here. So looking at these levels here, these are prior levels in here, and this would be, if we really went flat. But looking at PSA to see if we get at least a couple more days out of this stock. KOSS, this is one that we traded yesterday. You can see that it gave us a continuation play. This is kind of the level that I was expecting to hopefully get up to. We kind of mapped this out yesterday. 2467 is what I'm looking for a high on this. So we'll see if we get another day and get up to that level. But nice runs on this, and definitely see the momentum coming in this stock here. So hopefully this continues to work out for us. There's not been a retracement. It does make me a little nervous that we've had two long days of runs and no pullbacks. So just be careful with that one, but definitely a good stock that we have on the list. OCGN, you can see here, it pulled back and luckily it just ran back up again, but got over our support level, still in there. looking for a continuation up to $10 here, at least on this stock before hitting a level of resistance. Sun Power, I pulled back up, it ran back up to our target here, which is the top of this breakdown candles. And we talk about this a lot. There's kind of a little bit of training as well, I guess. But when you see these big breakdown, or you see a big breakup candle and you see the stock chasing kind of back up that, you can see here that we started here a few days ago last week, and we've just been grinding up to the top of that, and we hit it today. So very interesting. Hopefully you can see that, and it's pretty obviously. So a lot of times you'll see these big candles and you'll see the stock just chase that back up. Now we have some additional breakdown candles here. We have this mapped out to 30.55. We have not had a pullback here. So could this retrace tomorrow? It's possible. Could possibly retrace back down here, to the 5 here around 26.50. But if we have enough momentum and enough volume here, we could possibly push back up and start to climb these additional candles we have. We have 3 candles here. So we're going to see if we can get a push up to 29 tomorrow. If it backs off a little bit, just look for a retracement back to 26. So make sure you're locking profits in on this. If you caught this down here, you should easily be able to take the majority of your profits out, at least a half or 3/4 at this point, because you can see that there's a lot less upside than there is downside right now. So definitely keep those profits locked in. I did get the earnings calendar back on here. Don't know what happened yesterday, but somehow this got replaced. But today, JP Morgan, Delta, BlackRock, Infosys were kind of areas I was looking at. I'm a little disappointed on the movement on these. Tomorrow, I have all the banks. And so this is pretty important to me, when I was looking at this, because I wanted to see, who's setting the tone. JP Morgan set the tone for possibly where the banks are. So now let's look at that one, because that might give us a clue into what's going on. And you see JP Morgan, this was, back here, in September, we kind of had this grind down. We had to pull back to 150 and then this nice rally up here. And then we kind of had a few pullbacks, but, just continued to climb. We topped out here at 170, 151, and then it just started to pull back here. And, today again with earnings, we just pulled all the way back down. And so we're just kind of down here in this little grind area here around 160. So, do we hold here? I would sure hope so, because, we had good support, a lot of resistance here, which became support. So we should have a good support line here to hopefully rally off of here. We have a gap to fill as well above that. Around this gap here is at 164.51 up to 165. So we got to fill that gap at some point. Can we rally up there? I don't know. I mean, after hours, it seemed like we were seeing some weakness there. So are we going to pull back down here? This would be, your next level down here to 158, 63, 159. So we'll see. Definitely gonna be watching this tomorrow to see, but do banks pull back, and does that affect the XLF? We'll see, but definitely watching this with the banks tomorrow. This is definitely going to tell a lot about what's going on in our financial market. BlackRock, we had a nice gap up here. So now we have this big gap here that we'll have to fill at some point, but you can see here that we're pretty well flat up here. So looking to see if we can get a rally up towards 877. We get, if it's this positive enough, we should be able to pull up there and rally up there. But looking at BlackRock as well. Bros, we were talking about this yesterday, looking to see if we get another run at this today, at least get another day trade in here, or to see if this is going to kind of peter out. It didn't do a whole lot. It did give us, a run up here to 51.47, and then later on in the day to 52.11. So, pretty good. I mean, if you got a hold of this, you'd notice that the 50 was the support here for it to rally back up. It did pull back here to the 20, pull back up here again, still under the 5 and the 10. Looking to see if it can hold support. This is a support right underneath this big breakdown candle, a breakup candle here, to see if we can rally back up towards this 52. Will it do it? I don't know, but we're going to take a look at tomorrow and see if we can get this. So this is on watch tomorrow as well. Netflix, you talked about this possibly petering out here. I think we might be doing that. And so definitely watching this for some weakness and possibly short here, as I described in our video last night. Nike Nike, we talked about this gap that we're hopefully filling, and we were right under the resistance here to break through. We did break through that today, got up to the 50 and just barely over the 50. That also means we closed half of this gap that we had left open. Looking to see if we can fill that tomorrow. So looking for a continuation play tomorrow to hopefully fill this gap at 158.74. Now, if it hits, sometimes they fake out. They'll act like they're going to fill the gap and then barely miss it and pull back. So that's a possibility we could pull back. But seeing the momentum that Nike has here, we could get a gap fill or then some. The next resistance line is up here at 161.86. So looking to see if we can rally up with Nike. So Nike might give you a little bit of run, probably not a huge run, but something to be able to profit from. Tesla's holding above 800. Like to see that. It's giving us a little bit of a $10, not $10 range, but it's pretty well flat and choppy. You see, it's kind of looking at like it's going into this ascending triangle here. So trying to see if we can break that 811 or 812 is what we're looking for, really, to get above that and hold. Because you can see here, 812.32 we failed, 811.90 we failed, and then we're back up here again around 811 and 87 we failed. So trying to build a momentum to break through there. So if we break through 812, then 820, 840 is going to be next on the radar. So watching for that movement so we can kind of get things going with Tesla again. Moderna, we talked about it coming down here and finding the support, but also under resistance and under the 100. It looks like it's rallying back up there if we can break it, which is going to be tough. We got the 50 and the 10, so it can gap above that to try to break through that. And we have a gap up here to fill. But it looks like Moderna might be trying to kind of curve back up here and rally. So we'll see if we can break through that resistance in the morning. Invax still weak here. It's under all the moving averages. See if Moderna can get going, maybe that'll pull up Invax as well. Kamara, third day under this resistance. You can see we had it here back 44.97. Trying to break through this resistance here so we can continue to rally up to 51.14. So definitely on our watch. Nvidia, you see it's right under this resistance area, and these moving averages are pretty tight right here. So that might be a little bit of a struggle for it to get there. It might be flat another day, or it might have to gap to try to get through that. The dollar pulled back a little bit off this resistance level. So that's good for the stocks at least. The VIX pulled down as well. We should see this should be creating a rally to where our SPY and triple Qs and others should be rallying up here with the pullback here on the VIX. As long as the VIX stays down here, especially under this 19 and it's 1863 right now, if they can continue to pull down, that'll be great. If this all of a sudden decides to spike, then we're going to have a pullback again. But for right now, it looks like it's pulling down to down towards the support level at 1770. So that's good for us to continue to see the stocks continue to rise. So you can see the SPY pretty well flat today. So I'm not going to talk much about these. They're flat. We got to get through this 435 and hold it in 436 to really kind of start rallying back up. You can see the support and resistance lines here. This little channel, we got to break through here to get some momentum going. Same with the triple Qs. We're in this little channel. We got to break through to get some direction here. Semiconductors, same thing. We got this breakdown candle, and we're right in the middle of it. So pretty well, that's where the flat. We're pretty much flat today. Financials, a little bit of pullback. We're in this little triangle here. You see we kind of gone back and forth through this triangle, and we broke through, didn't hold it, broke back down, touched the bottom of it here at the 50, see if we can get a rally back up and break through it again. If the banks come out weak though, we could probably be seeing more downside here, at least down to the 50 or further. So just be careful on that if you're investing in that index. Energy pulled back here. Typically, if you see the other stocks rallying, you're going to see a little bit of pullback in the energy, which we did. So that's normal. Gold rallied up here. It's under the 200 again. See if we can break through that, as well as this descending resistance line here that we have. See if we can pull through that. So it'll take a little bit to get through that. Definitely need to keep momentum going. Silver trying to rally up as well. Still, it's under the 50. but it broke this last resistance line at $23, so that's great. Bitcoin consolidating, pretty well flat right here, looking for a movement above 58,500 to go towards that 59,000 and see if we can break through that. Cardano, you can see here, it's been touching this upward trend line, and hopefully it continue bounces off of that. If it breaks through that, we got some downside coming. But for right now, it's consolidating. You can see kind of where, it's kind of moved up, hit resistance, pull down, found support. It's been kind of bouncing here. The more that it hits the bottom, though, the more weaker it's going to get and possibly break through. So hopefully it can bounce off tomorrow, get through the $2.31 range and move up, because we have a nice long run up above it. So hoping to break that resistance. Shiba, if you're in this Shiba, it's kind of pulled down here. I did sell out up here, just around 31. I didn't get the top, but I, got out of here. I am kind of waiting to see what happens here at the support. I'm not trying to short it. I know there's some people that are short it. Some people say, hey, they're holding long. Seeing this little weakness here right on support, I just don't know if it's going to pull back here. So I'm just going to kind of give it a day or two. If I start to see it rally, obviously I'll get back in, because I'm not going to be down anything because I'm already up on this. So that doesn't bother me at all. But I didn't like this resistance lines being hit. So just going to keep an eye on that here as we go into tonight, tomorrow. But those are stocks we're watching in the morning. A lot of things to track. Lots of momentum. Keep a check on the scanners. The scanners giving us new opportunities every day. So don't miss out on those. And we'll give you updates tomorrow on kind of how the day went, and hopefully your day goes well and you're profitable. And continue to subscribe and watch these videos, and hopefully they'll help you in your trading. Everybody have a great night, and be safe out there.